Hello, hello, and welcome to the stream. My name is JD Grauspitz. I'm lead singer of Malignant Bear. Coming to you live with our first stream of the new year. So, Happy New Year's. Obviously, happened a while ago at this point for most of the world, but Happy New Year's nonetheless. 2021 finally. So with that in mind, I figured we would go with kind of classic stream bait game, Getting Over It, with Bennett Foddy. I saw a couple other streamers doing this last night and today, just kind of as a joke of, getting over 2020. So for those who do not know, this was a game that came out a couple years ago, and it's basically just a meme game. You play as a shirtless, possibly completely naked gentleman in a giant, like medieval style cauldron with a sledgehammer. And the objective of the game is to just control the sledgehammer and use its momentum to kind of launch yourself over a bunch of stuff and get to the top of a mountain and then some other things. Um, it's an incredibly frustrating game from what I can tell. In the minute or two that I played to confirm that it worked, I was terrible at it. But like I said, short stream today. I just wanted to get in with the meme and play some obvious streamer bait. And yes, happy New Year to you as well, fellow nerd. Um, yeah, so we'll see how this goes. And I might talk a little bit about some upcoming releases this year. I have Game Informer's list of the major releases for the first part of the year pulled up in the background as well. If this ends up being too frustrating, I'll tab over to that and just talk about that for a few minutes. But yeah, without further ado, switch on over to the game if it picks it up like it's supposed to. I was having some issues with that earlier. Yeah, I have to play it windowed mode, and for some reason OBS just struggles with that sometimes, and also struggles with picking it up at the right resolution and all that. Let's just real quick look at the settings. I don't know what the point of these volume rockers are. If it's anything less than like 100%, you basically can't hear it at all. So I have subtitles turned on, and I have no idea why this game has motion blur, but it does. And I turned it down from 1440, not for frame rate reasons, obviously, but just to try to get a better windowed mode here. So, all right, let's jump right in. As you can see, here's our pot, our protagonist. I don't know if he has a name or anything. There's no button clicks or anything. You can see the little circle here is just where my mouse cursor is, and that just controls the sledgehammer. So that's it. That's all you do. You just propel yourself along with the sledgehammer. I died already, off to a fantastic start. Obviously not supposed to go that way. So yeah. Again, this is one of those games. It's like the old Impossible quiz or something that you would just kind of send this to your friends, just as a joke. You're, I'm sure there's someone, maybe multiple people who actually get enjoyment out of this. I'm not one of them. This is strange and bizarre. I mean the concept is funny for sure, uh, but yeah. Yeah, no, it does look a lot like early Rust, definitely. Yeah, I guess the naked guy, the sledgehammer, the sort of was post-apocalyptic feel to everything. Yeah, I get that. It's boy, I haven't played Rust in a long time though. Some fond memories of that, definitely. But I don't know. I feel like I don't have too much time for games like that anymore. It's awesome when you games like Rust are really fun when you have like, oh boy, tons of free time. But when you don't, not so much. Uh, I believe Bennett Foddy is the gentleman who's talking right now in the background. It's probably insanely quiet. I can barely hear it, and I have the game audio turned down significantly as well. So, um, but he's just talking about terrible things that can happen, and if you hate said terrible things, probably don't play this game. um, which it's a fair assessment, I guess. Yeah, no, I think it's the wood texture especially. That's like straight out of Rust for sure. I I got over this tree when I tried earlier. Again, this is just straight mouse movement. Like there's no button clicks or anything. So um, I know there's like wacky physics things that you can do. I've seen people, clips of speed runs of this basically where people just like jump through the majority of the map and stuff like that. But you can see it's a little bizarre. Come on, how do I want to do this? Okay, just have to do kind of. Oh nope, I had the right idea though for sure. So you can kind of just pile drive down and maybe that might work. Oop, or I can go back the other way completely or into the water. Okay. Wow, yeah. It's good stuff. See, I know basically you have to like get up a hill here and then once you get up the hill, then you like go to some stuff that's like floating in the clouds. And you can fall, all the way back here and things like that. Okay, there we go. Got some momentum going now. And I believe that's like an important part of this too, is kind of the momentum of all of it. Um, I'm just like wildly spinning my mouse. This is probably a great game for carpal tunnel sufferers for sure.
Safe place to stop and quit the game. And don't worry, I'll save your progress always, even your mistakes.
Oh, okay. No, no, no. Yeah, this is oh, okay, almost had it, almost had it. But again, this is one of those games that if you stream, you pretty much have to play it at least once. I think it's like a requirement. YouTube has it's a bunch of little things that you fill out before you can actually stream on your account, and Twitch does too, if I can remember. And this is probably in there. Just kind of glance through them. But ugh. But yeah, so it's 2021 now. Hope everybody had a safe, happy New Year and everything. Oh boy.
The author of that game was Jazuo, a mysterious Czech designer who was known
He
for
talking
being
about
the
now?
father of B games. And B games are rough assemblages of found objects. Designers slap them together very quickly and freely, and they're often too rough and unfriendly to gain much of a following. They're built more for the joy of building them than as polished products.
Come on. Come on. I like that the music, it's pretty relaxing. I'm sure it's super quiet, but well, I guess that's kind of the point. Come on. There we go. Okay. Yeah, it's just all about building that momentum. Here we go, here we go. Oop.
It's built almost entirely out of found and recycled parts. And it's
No,
one
no,
of
no,
the
no,
most
no, no, no.
unusual and unfriendly games of its time.
Okay.
Your task is simply to drag yourself up a mountain with a hammer. And that act of climbing, in the digital world or in real life,
Oh boy.
has certain essential properties that give the game its flavor.
See, he's talking about just the game design behind this, basically, and why it's, sort of purposely jank.
Unremittingly in danger of falling and losing everything.
Come on. No. Oh!
Just lost a lot of progress. That's a deep frustration, a real punch in the gut.
It's doing good there for a second. But yeah, as Bennett says, you can fall and lose a lot at any time. So sort of the point of the game. Yeah, I think that the trick is kind of doing the pile driver thing, and then just you gotta go fast. That's what this is. Oh. And the hammer, you can see it's kind of got like the claw at one end, but it doesn't actually matter. It's just uh, like the hit detection on it is just sort of a flat T almost. There's no benefit to like hitting things with that angle of it. It simply is. Um, but come on. Come on. No, 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 no.
Oof.
Ooh.
Sorry about that.
I don't know why he's saying sorry. I'm the one playing. Uh but yeah, boy, I'll tell you, if I can get through this stream without swearing, then my goodness, that'll be impressive. Did slip up in the Darkwood stream, but that was because I was reading some dialogue, so it seemed relevant. It was at the very end too, from what I've heard. So it's only a no-no if you do it early on. That's the only time that Papa YouTube cares for some reason. If you swear in like the first, what is it, minute of a video or 30 seconds or something, then that's bad news bears. But oop, come on. Come on, no. Oh my goodness, hands are getting sweaty, if I'm honest. Nope, nope, nope. Okay. Okay, here we go. All right, take a little breather here. Try to think about this. How I want to do this. I would say like, oh man, I'm feeling really good about how much I'm doing and how good this is and blah blah blah. I'm not very far at all. This progress is minimal. Okay. Nope, nope.
Anyway, when you start
Nope, no, no.
you're standing next to this dead tree.
Oh.
To the entire rest of the game.
Boy,
It might
that's...
take you an hour to get over that tree, and a lot of people never got past it.
See, he's talking about another game called Sexy Hiking, which is kind of similar in the vein of this.
There's a sense of truth in that lack of compromise. Most obstacles in video game worlds are fake. You can be completely confident in your ability to get through them once you have the correct method or the correct equipment or just by spending enough time. In that sense, every pixel...
But yeah, so in addition to this being a streamer bait game and all that, this game is also, as he's talking about, sort of a love letter to other goofy sort of streamer bait games and things that are just like inherently difficult. You're just watching them for the lulz. There's, again, I'm sure there are people who actually do enjoy this and are quite good at it and all that, but for the average person, this is just, you're playing it because people want to see you get salty at it. So I thought about making the thumbnail for this instead of the mountain climber there with the short shorts on. I have a picture saved that's the steps leading into a salt mine. I've been waiting to use that for something, but not for this. Figure that might be the go-to if I ever decide I hate myself enough to play maybe Counter-Strike or Dota again. It's been a long time. Speaking of which, Valve released their schedule today for the upcoming year of competitive Dota, including the 10th International. Obviously got sidelined by the pandemic, but they've been raising the prize money this whole time. It's like, what, 40 million or something crazy.
You can hit the escape key if you need to change the mouse sensitivity.
I don't know why I would want to change mouse sensitivity. I think this would still be frustrating anyway. Come on. Ooh. I know if I can get kind of through this section, it's a little bit harder to fall super far back, because there's kind of a part up at the top of this where you wedge yourself in between some stuff. So, though I have to get there first, obviously. Try upping the sensitivity, see if that makes it any easier. No, it doesn't. So obviously I have a mouse with sensitivity controls. Highly recommend it for anyone who's even just casual for gaming. Being able to change your DPI on the fly is a must-have. But doesn't seem to matter for this. It's just jank. Any way you slice it. Which again, totally the point. But yeah, oh my goodness.
Oh, it happened again.
Keep trying. Don't let it get to you. Not yet. This also would have been an ideal game to maybe pre-game. I don't know. Well, I don't know if that would have made it more or less frustrating. It's hard to tell. But I enjoyed a nice New Year's Day supper of pork and sauerkraut. Again, we're from the wonderful German-speaking country of Liechtenstein, and as such observe Germanic New Year's traditions of pork and sauerkraut. Very good, good meal. Hard not to like it. I will say when I purchased prepackaged sauerkraut, a little lazy this year. Don't want to anger my neighbors either. I did grocery pickup for that, and when I purchased it, even though it was sealed up in a thing on its own, the curbside people also put it in its own little plastic baggie because I guess they were afraid of it or unsure of it. Guess not a very high seller for them. But they also did the same when I purchased kimchi once. And again, probably weren't too sure of that either. They definitely weren't too sure of that one. It was even circled on the receipt. So I suspect not too many people in this area are purchasing kimchi. Bit of a shame, really. More for me, though. Always good. See, this is also a good stream for getting used to talking about random things. So, talking about gameplay is fine and all, but jeez, I cannot get past this part. But obviously, once you get going and you get more viewers, that's the goal. Is you want to be able to entertain them not just with what you're doing, but things that you've done and things that you can talk about. So, grocery pickup's not super exciting, but the point remains. Oh. I can always tell when I'm going to fall all the way back down, too. Like, I know it. It's that feeling in the pit of your stomach. The physics on this is wacky. I played a while ago at this point when I was testing out OBS, doing some test streaming. I tested out golf with your friends. Fun little game, cute little game. But I complained about the physics in it, and I don't know. This makes those look pretty good. Although not a physicist, I can't speak to how realistic the physics on naked men in giant cauldrons are in real life, especially given I don't know his weight or the gravity of this particular planet, things like that.
Failure is not the falling down, but the staying down. Mary Pickford.
That's okay. That's a good quote. It says, "Failure is not falling down, but staying down." So we'll go with that. Yeah, we're not staying down. Again, this is probably embarrassing to watch. I'm getting stuck early on here, but hi, Happy New Year. Ooh. All right, let's see here. Get going on this. Ooh, nope. I don't know, I kind of wish Bennett Foddy would have some more things to say. It's kind of sparse with that. Things he has said have been interesting, but not a lot of them. But I'm sure once people get good at this, you probably go through it so fast he doesn't have time to talk, really, or speaks over himself. No, 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 no. No, no, no. Okay, so he's playing some music. Going Down the Road Feeling Bad by Cliff Carlisle. Hope it's public domain. We'll see. Test out if I get DMCA struck. Well, that's so quiet. I'm not super worried about it. Sounds a little old, too. Gonna go out on a limb and say public domain for this. And how did I ever do this before? What was the secret? Okay. Let's sit here for a second, think about this. Oh, it's not a shed, it's a, well, you never know. Again, see what YouTube has up their sleeve for me in the new year, you never know. Yeah, this is one of those, like beach changing huts, like old style ones that you'd see probably more so in the UK than anywhere else. But I guess Bennett Foddy is a pretty British sounding name, so. There we go. Okay. Nope, no, nope. All right. Let's see here. Oop. No, 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 no. Okay. As long as I don't... I can control my failing to not fall down too far, I think I'm good. Okay, here we go. This is the part where... Nope. Okay. Alright, yeah, suddenly have a little bit more leeway. It's a little harder to fall too far here. Okay, and yeah, I have to get a little creative as far as how this is gonna go. Yeah, it's very infuriating to play, and I think that's the point of it. So as you can see, the little gray circle here, that's just the mouse cursor, and that's all this is that's your pivot point, and you just control it by moving the mouse. There's no buttons, no keybinds, nothing. It's just you and the wacky physics of this naked man in a cauldron. Ooh, almost had it, almost had it. How did I get that down there? Oh boy. Okay. Might be... Okay, there we go. No, no, no.
The obstacles in sexy hiking are unyielding, and that makes the game uniquely frustrating. But I'm not sure Jazzuo intended to make a frustrating game.
Nope.
Frustration is just essential to the act of climbing, and it's authentic to the process of building a game about climbing. A funny thing happened to me as I was building this mountain. I'd have an idea for a new obstacle, and I'd build it, test it, and it would usually turn out to be unreasonably hard. But I couldn't bring myself to make it easier. It already felt like my inability to get past a new obstacle was my fault as a player rather than as a builder.
No, oh, I almost had it.
Mountains build themselves from our efforts to climb them, and it's our repeated attempts to reach the summit that turns those mountains into something real.
Okay, there we go. All right, this looks a little tricky. So I like Metroidvanias, always have, except for parts when you have to do sort of wacky wall jumps like this.
That can be like working with quick
I
sets.
always get through
You
them, but
modify ideas into a
sort of
certain shape that
begrudgingly.
can be played with. And in the process of playing with them, they begin to harden and set until they're immutable, like rock.
Nope, no, 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 no.
And at that point, you can't change the world. Not without breaking it into pieces.
If I can even figure out how to get up there. Nope, nope. Not good, not good. Alright, so yeah, you can still fall here.
The soul would have no
Quite a bit. Oh boy.
John Vance Cheney.
More the inspirational quotes about taking your failure in stride.
The pain I feel now is the happiness I had
Oh boy.
before.
Fell down quite a bit here.
C.S. Lewis.
Another inspirational quote. Author C.S. Lewis. Obviously most famous for Chronicles of Narnia. Good friend of Tolkien as well. Both of them rather famously served in World War I, and both wrote fantasy novels based on that experience. Come on. No, 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 no. I have to say though, I'm glad that this is like not a clicking game, because if it was, boy, my mic would be picking up some furious clicks and clacks. I don't know if you can hear my wrist flailing around on the desk, but and nope. No. Nope. No, 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 no. Don't go over that way. Don't go that way. Oh boy.
You cannot now believe that you will ever feel better. But this is not true. You're sure to be happy again.
Jeez, that's...
Knowing this, truly believing it, will make you less miserable now.
You're seeing the quote there? It's Abe Lincoln saying that you have to believe that you'll be happy again. I think I maybe would have reserved a weighty one like that for a bigger fall than the one I just took, but still good quote, powerful. Here we have another song, the Poor Me Blues by Edna Hicks. Again, hoping it's quiet enough that DMC doesn't pick it up. But again, with how popular this game is with streamers, I doubt it. Oh boy. But as the title says, this was kind of a joke for getting over 2020. Obviously, waiting for midnight was a little bit easier than playing this game. So. Got some high hopes for the new year, for sure, as I imagine most people do. Never been the type for New Year's resolutions. I just kind of give myself generic ones, do better. But I think that'll be the case this year as well. But we'll try. Get very specific ones. Do better at this game, but don't think that'll happen. I can't see myself revisiting this one too much, if at all. But you never know. And maybe this will be my new New Year's tradition. Get real frustrated at this every January 1st. For anyone else who wants to give this game a shot, I believe it is free on Android and iOS. I remember seeing it in the App Store. If it's there, it's probably not very expensive. Again, it's a couple years old at this point as well, so... hopefully it won't be worse. That would be something, though. I mean, you never know. This could be the year with aliens or something wacky. But let's see. Ooh. But yeah, no, this, at least gaming-wise, this should be an interesting year. Obviously, the new consoles came out, and there wasn't a whole lot of new releases with them, as was the case with the PS4 and the Xbox One as well. Sort of slow starts. But the first actual year of them, next year, or current year now, 2021, there's quite a lot of releases on the table. Obviously, a large portion of those games will come to PC, especially Xbox games. Microsoft has gotten good about that again. Every couple of years, they claim that they're gonna, they're sticking with PC gaming again, and I don't know. I kind of believe them this time. Game Pass is certainly a good deal for those who are curious about it. A lot of content on there. Okay, getting back up here finally. I personally get quite a lot of my games from Humble Bundle. Is where this one came from as well. I subscribe to the Humble monthly thing. It's a couple bucks a month. What is it, like $12 a month or something? And it usually gets you about a dozen games, varying quality. Sometimes you get some goofy ones like this, but other times you get some quality ones as well. So I played Mechanicus the other night, and that was from there last month or the month before, and that alone made it worth the $12. Might play that more on stream, but I'll definitely finish it either way. So yeah, I recommend that if you're a PC gamer and you just want sort of a constant stream of new things. Shout out to Humble Bundle, and of course it does benefit various charities as well. So hard not to like that. Usually older games, and a lot of the selection is sort of indie games or games that people have had for a while from other sales and things like that.
Do not stand at my grave and cry.
But still worth it.
I did not die. Mary Fry.
Mary Fry's famous quote of "Do not stand at my grave and cry. I am not dead. I did not die." I could feel my soul leave my body as I did that, though. But I guess appropriate. Still alive, at least in the physical sense. Let's see for how much longer, though. It's one of those games that if I really wanted to build up an audience quickly, I've played this probably with a webcam on and on like a burner PC, and just at some point just raged really hard and just trashed it all. And it's that clip would have certainly made the rounds, probably like front page of Reddit or something, Twitter, things like that. Get me some followers. Well, maybe not these days. Definitely come off as planned and fake. But around the time this game came out, that would have been an excellent way to get some people. Nietzsche quote, famous German philosopher, considered the father of nihilism. Appropriate for this game. Oh, of course, yeah. I'm in a pretty inexpensive chair right now, so it seems appropriate. Need to get an actual good chair. No goofy gamer chairs. I have one of those. It's in the other room. It's not particularly comfortable. It was cheap, and it's a good backup in case something happens to this equally cheap chair. But yeah, wouldn't want to sit in it for too long. It was recommended by a friend, and didn't didn't think to take into account that said friend is about half a foot shorter than I am. So while I'm sure it's a comfortable chair for them, uh, not so much for me. All right, back back to here for now. All right, here. Let's give it a second. Think about how I want to do this. So I assume I like the I can't point to it because how the pointer is, but sort of up there to the left, you can see the textures repeating. Got a little lazy here. Although again, whole game, sort of the point. The tricky thing here is I need to basically, I think I just have to launch myself up. It's probably the only way I can actually do this. I like the sound effects though. It's good. Made metal on metal when I was hitting that steel girder there. So there was some attention to detail in this for sure. Not much, but no, get get up there. So again, I've never played this before. I've seen clips of it. Again, speedrunners sort of glitching through the whole thing. So I have no idea how long it actually is. I won't be finishing it. This will be a shorter stream. Just wanted to get some content out for the new year. Just have uh, something on Friday. Stick to the schedule. Although next week, though, I believe I might start Hades on stream. Picked that up in the Steam sale. Been looking forward to it. I've heard nothing but good things, so I might start that. I also got two other little games from Humble Bundle again that I'm looking forward to. The Frog Detective games, kind of cheeky, over the top, very short um, parody of older adventure games. Ooh, okay. All right, all right. Let's see how I want to do this. Got somewhere. I guess I have to go there. This tree does not look to have collision on it. It does not.
Life is no simple pleasure and pain.
Ooh boy.
Is an interval between two moments.
Now we know. Okay.
Peace is the interlude between two wars. You have no rose without a thorn. The diligent picker will avoid the pricks and gather the flower. Satya Sai Baba.
Interesting quote. Satya Sai Baba. Basically quoting the famous Poison song. Every rose has its thorn. Though I think he was probably a little bit ahead of them. Also seems appropriate to play kind of a janky, silly game like this. So last night at midnight, For those who might not be aware, Flash Player, Adobe Flash, finally reached its end of life after however many years it's been. Um, so Adobe's lifetime of being unable to fix all the vulnerabilities and problems in it has come to an end because they figured it just wasn't worth it, and they're sunsetting it. So for anyone who grew up playing Flash games, perhaps in a school computer lab or things like that, uh, there are some were and are some ongoing projects to sort of save Flash games. This might be worth looking into. You can probably play them in more modernized, safer formats. But the platform as a whole is dead. I know a couple years ago, Newgrounds, the famous website that always had Flash content, started moving a lot of things over to another proprietary format, trying to get ahead of this.
But not with the cold fire that closes round me this year.
Strikes me as what would have been a Flash game, though, so maybe it was at some point. How did I... Wow. Bounced a little weirdly there. So it's kind of funny. I'm a big fan of the Dark Souls games and games like them. Like that style of gameplay, that sort of risk reward, that feeling of satisfaction when you get through it. I'd like to say I have the same sort of calm demeanor when I play them, but I don't, which is a little odd. I'm significantly better at them than I am at this, but oh, this was made by that guy. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, Quap, fantastic, well, again, fantastic little meme game. Those who don't know, it's you control a runner in a marathon using the Quap keys, as the title might suggest. And it's one of those games where playtime is measured in milliseconds for most people. Each key corresponds to what is it, like the muscles in your legs or something to get your runner moving. Again, similar to this, I'm sure there's people who are good at it, figured it out. But for the most part, it's just the gun sound starting the race, and your character just immediately falls over. I made a flurry of key presses. But this game, much more relaxed, but equally frustrating as Quap. But again, Quap was never meant to be taken seriously. This, I don't know, at least this seems to be at least somewhat serious. Some effort was put into this. There's calming music going on, nice inspirational quotes relating to failure, things like that. My goodness. Okay. No, certainly not. Not the flashiest game, but I always liked. Sure the sure the GIF is now ancient at this point, but someone cosplaying as Quap. Um, it's them, wearing the outfit of the character. They have a keyboard, and they, are pushing the buttons on the keyboard and then immediately fall over. At least you'd get a chuckle out of that. Certainly not high quality cosplay. You know, not gonna win any awards, but creative and funny. Have to appreciate that. I've always been fascinated by cosplay. The amount of work and effort that goes into making the costumes, and then on the high end, people who really get into it and play the characters as well. You know, not just dressing as them, but going the full 9 yards. You know, learning the speech patterns and the mannerisms and things like that. That's it's always been neat. See, not too many conventions happened this past year, so although that means I suppose the probably makers and cosplayers got some time to hone their craft, at least hopefully. Yeah, oh, he does. He does in the GIF. He's very committed to it. Uh, I would assume it's probably the first result if you Google like Quap cosplay or something. Just out of reach. Or not? Nope. I'm sure someone has done cosplay of this. Very simple from a costume side. Assuming you can find a giant cauldron like this. Sledgehammer is relatively easy to come by. The gentleman in the cauldron, though, is quite muscular. So if you wanted to do it justice, you'd have to hit the gym for a while. So that would make up for the time that you would be saving with not having the complicated costume itself. Though of course, if you really wanted to commit to it, you would have to move around like this guy does, or have some good dedicated friends who could carry you around. But again, if you looked like this, you could potentially do this as well. I'm not an expert in fitness, but it seems like it might be doable. Come on.
Of all sad words of tongue or pen, the saddest are these. It might have been. John Greenleaf Whittier.
Always did like that quote. John Greenleaf Whittier. Saddest words are "it might have been," just like my attempt at climbing the mountain. Um, so, good reminder to always go for it. You know, shoot your shot, as the kids say. Although this might be one of those situations where maybe I think that's in regards to sort of real life things, not wasting tons of time on a silly little video game. Although no time you enjoy wasting
If you
is
need to take
wasted.
a break, it's okay. I've saved your progress.
It's told me that a couple times now. It's saving my progress. I believe it does it just automatically, constantly. Um, so that might be sort of the little cry for help of like, hey, if you've been at this a while and haven't done a whole lot. So
If you try to please audiences, uncritically accepting their tastes, it can only mean that you have no respect for them. Andrei Tarkovsky.
Tarkovsky quote. Not sure how it goes in response to this, unless he knows that this is streamer bait and you shouldn't try to please your audience with it, or if he's referring to himself trying to create one of the most frustrating games I've ever played. It's hard to say. I guess it works both ways. I assume he had to know what he was doing with this, though. The game is very self-aware. So I imagine its creator was too. I didn't even notice the guy is grunting sometimes when I fall. That's how weird the audio mixing is in this game. Like I said when I started, if it's at max, it is incredibly loud. If it's at literally anything else, you can't hear it at all. Um, yeah, no, this is 100% streamer bait. I have to wonder if again though if he knew that when he made it, and how do you set out to make something like that? What what as a game creator gets you to do that? Some of the other streamer bait games, like Happy Wheels and things like that. I believe they started as legitimate games. I mean, legitimate, not good games, but they're real games. They're meant to be played. But I'm in an interesting spot here. Again, I think the secret to this game and what I'm missing is the pile driving, sort of launching myself into things. I know I have to do it at the top of this thing, since that tree doesn't have any physics of its own. I will have to launch to get to the top of this. No, no, no.
You've done this part before. You know it's possible. Just do what you did the first time.
I didn't get it the first time. Ooh, almost had it, almost had it. But yeah, I can remember when this came out, and this was like the front page of Twitch and YouTube and things uh, for about a week, and then off and on see people play it. This seems to be kind of again a standard in the stable for when you just want some cheap, easy content. Watch me struggle at getting over it. Oh boy. Oop, no, 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 no. Okay, there we go. Getting somewhere. Again, I mentioned this before, but I think momentum is just sort of the biggest part of this. I need to figure out. But if I can just get to the top of that area, I'll consider this a success. Who knows? Might revisit this again. Keep it as I said, keep it in the back pocket for if I just want some cheap content. Oop.
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
It's true.
Ice-T.
Great quote by Ice-T. Always a favorite. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Although if you're a viewer of this, you might hate the player right now because I'm doing pretty terrible. But your choice to watch, I suppose.
when to the sessions of sweet silent thought I summon up remembrance of things past, I sigh the lack of many a thing I sought, and with old woes new wail my dear time's waste. William Shakespeare, Sonnet 30.
Shakespeare quote about wasting time. Yeah, no, Minecraft is the ultimate easy content. I do enjoy it. It is a good game. I was thinking about that actually, potentially doing that today. Although I'm kind of just waiting for the next big patch with it. I played Minecraft initially back when it was in alpha. Believe if one of my other viewers is still here, he remembers those days as well. He's the one that got me into it. Thanks. But yeah, we played it back when you had to give your money to a strange guy in Sweden named Notch, and somehow it kept my account all these years later. But yeah, and it's one of those games every couple months or years. I'll remember that it exists and I'll reinstall it, and I will play nothing but it for about a week, and have a good time generally. But then sort of reach the point where it's like, well, I've at least experienced most things aside from wacky redstone construction, and do not have an engineering degree, so not gonna spend too much time figuring that out. So I give up and try other things. I know there's, of course, plenty of guides online, obviously popular game among children, and if children can figure it out, I'm certain I could, but again, just sort of lose interest at some point. It's just an inherently fun game, though. It's, Legos, essentially. Who doesn't like that? Though I do like the irony of Minecraft Legos are a thing that exist. Everything comes full circle eventually. The Legos are one of those things. Got kind of the itch a couple months ago. I was like, yeah, I want to mess around with Legos. It's been a long time, so I went and I looked. Thought about maybe buying a set, and boy, they are expensive.
Patience is the foundation of eternal
Never realized it growing up.
Harm comes to those who know only victory and
They've only gotten more expensive since then.
Find fault with yourself and not with others. It's in falling short of your own goals that you'll surpass those who exceed theirs. Tokugawa Ieyasu.
Quote from Tokugawa, famous Japanese warlord who ended the Warring States period. Oh my goodness. My mouse hand is like getting sweaty over here. It's less than ideal.
She smiled in defeat with unconquerable eyes. Atticus.
Hard not to just laugh whenever you fall in this game. Again, I can see getting real salty with this. Getting some gamer gremlin rage going or something, but try to avoid doing that as much as possible. At least when I'm streaming. Alright, I'm gonna mess around with this, see if I can just figure out how to sort of pogo stick. Yeah, no, this definitely counts as my exercise for today, at least for that arm. You know, I might have to do some dumbbell curls with the other or something just to keep them level, but don't know quite what to do with my other hand though. It's just sort of hanging out here. Obviously, easy jokes about one-handed games, but this is absolutely designed to be one, and not in a lewd sense. So, although again, this guy's pretty ripped, so I'm sure this is someone's thing. No judgment.
Your failure here is a metaphor. To learn for what, please resume climbing.
Ah, what? That quote seemed custom tailored to this. I find it hard to believe that it wasn't. Okay. Probably won't go too much longer at this. Said I did want to take a few minutes and kind of discuss major releases coming out, just because I was curious about what was out there. Again, exciting year. Consoles came out late last year. Obviously, horrible supply issues. Hopefully, be resolved at some point. For American viewers, there is allegedly a round of stimulus checks coming. Of course, you could conveniently blow all of that on a new console if you can find one anywhere. Help fuel the economy.
Laugh, and the world laughs with you. Weep, and you weep alone. For the sad old earth must borrow its mirth, but has trouble enough of its own.
Of course, aside from new games and last year's new consoles, the ever popular rumors of a new Switch, a Switch 2, had some weight to them last year. Late last year, I heard talk of a Switch 2. But there's constant rumors of it, but specifically that it would sort of be along the lines of like what the new 3DS was to the DS. All the same games would work on it, but it would just be a standalone, not an actual Switch. You can't undock it, but it would output to 4K, which would be the big thing. Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to Breath of the Wild 2. Haven't heard much about it since the initial talk. But yeah, the first one in my top 10 of all time for sure. It's just a wonderfully well crafted game. Just enjoyable, very cathartic to kind of go through the world and doing things. Great storytelling method in it too. Like going and gathering the pictures and talking to people about what happened before. Of course, the new Hyrule Warriors came out late last year as well. Well, like later last year. What was it, October or something? It served as a prequel to Breath of the Wild, but with the Warriors style gameplay, Dynasty Warriors style. Yeah. Okay, this is getting to be a bit much. It's not even my hand and wrist. It's like the whole arm now. It's starting to get a little tired. Very repetitive motion because you just have to spin to win. Beyblade style almost. Wonder if those are still a thing. I'm sure they are. See, we have about a solid hour of failure now. That's it's good. It's like taking a test in school or something. Sometimes you sit down and you just know, well, some mistakes were made. It would be me booting up this game. On the plus side, though, this should be my gaming low point of the year. Just getting it out of the way early. My gaming low point of last year was probably Cyberpunk. I even tempered my expectations and was still very disappointed. Didn't even finish it. I'll get around to it eventually. Maybe when they finish it. Good Sonic game. If they let the team that made Mania make any more, I think you'll get your wish. Excellent Sonic game. Especially as someone who grew up with a Genesis and stuff. Always had the Sega consoles, not the Nintendo ones, when I was younger. Dreamcast somewhere, sitting in a box. Chow Garden is probably all starved to death by now. I think you'll get one. It's too popular of a franchise to let go, and they've gotten better about it in recent years. You know, Sonic 2006 was certainly terrible and made fun of for good reason, but since then I can't think of any that have been unplayable or anything like that.
Better by far that you should forget and smile than you should remember and be sad. Christina Rossetti.
Yeah, I always did like Sonic Adventure. Alright, so we're gonna give this another couple minutes here. Check the list, I'll see if there's any Sonic games in it. Said I've Game Informer's 2021 list pulled up in the background. Can't show it. I don't know, they might get finicky. And I didn't think to just copy and paste it into a Word document. That would have been too easy. So keep this up while I discuss it. Maybe I'll use the standby screen. It doesn't get much use. Shadow the Hedgehog. I forgot that he had his own game. I don't know, maybe they'll make a game where you just play as Big the Cat and you go fishing. I would unironically play that though, assuming it had good fishing mechanics. Could be fun. That's what I need. I need a good fishing game to keep in the backlog. Again, easy, kind of relaxing content. That would be good if I just wanted to do like a talking about things stream. Just be fishing and talking. Can't scare away digital fish. I mean, I guess you can, but not through my actions. Yeah, no, I remember remember that game. I very vaguely, but how out of place it seemed with Sonic. Well, I guess maybe that was the point. Sega just wanted to appeal to a different audience, you know. I seem to remember that came out around the time of the original Xbox and PS2 and things like that. So you had the resurgence of shooters and things with Halo, and Sony had some edgier games with stuff like Jak and Daxter getting popular. Almost had it. And this is tricky. Yeah, even if this is free, unless you really want to get mad for no good reason, probably can't recommend it. I can see that. I'm sure they get all sorts of weird letters though. So remember years and years ago there was Sonic the Hedgehog comics, and they were pretty out there compared to the game, and obviously the cartoon as well, back in the 90s. It's always how you knew a property was doing pretty well, if it had cartoon and comic books. But again, they were like oddly not not mature, but more mature than the games were, certainly, and more mature than the cartoon was. Not entirely sure who their target audience was. Though these days, Sega spends a lot of their time on just publishing efforts. The main thing that they develop themselves is the Yakuza games. The most recent of which, Like a Dragon, is sort of a soft reboot to the entire series. No more Kiryu and Mojima. Plays a new character, and instead of brawler elements, it's a turn-based JRPG, which is kind of interesting. Still very, very over the top, cheesy, and fun though. So for those who like that side of it, but maybe don't like the gameplay in Yakuza, worth checking out. Although the gameplay is pretty good. It's in the older games, it's basically just a fighting game.
Something filled up my heart with nothing. Someone told me not to cry. Now that I'm older, my heart's colder. I can see that it's alive. The Arcade Fire.
Interesting quote from the Arcade Fire band. I guess not a quote, more of a song at that point. Wouldn't mind seeing them live. Put out some good stuff over the years. Consider myself pretty privileged. Early back in 2020, I got to see Motion City Soundtrack, a sort of post pump or post pop pop punk band. Boy, that's a tongue twister. From back in the early to mid 2000s. They had a farewell tour a few years ago, then got back together and decided to tour again in early 2020. And I got to see them with one of their shows before the rest of the tour had to be postponed for obvious reasons. Great last concert, if, you know, depending on when we can go to them again. Always put on a good show, though. I've seen them a couple times. Well, it is always kind of funny seeing musicians who kind of sing about. I guess maybe angsty is not the best word, but sort of I don't know. Yeah, I guess angsty, like teenager and 20-something sort of troubles, and seeing them age, have children of their own, and things like that, and then still going on tour and playing those same songs. Uh, vocals maybe tuned down an octave, but message rings a little bit differently as they themselves age. Still good music, though. It's weird. I'm annoyed with this game, and I'm not necessarily having fun, yet at the same time, can't stop. I'm sure I will regret it. Again, sweaty mouse. Hand is getting a little sore. Give this one more attempt trying to get up here. If we fall again, that'll be it. For those watching this, assuming you're watching it when it's relevant, don't forget the Steam sale is still going on. Posted a quick video last week talking about it. Some of the diamonds in the rough there. Low effort content similar to this, but good time for sales, or good time for deals, I should say. There won't be another big Steam sale probably until around Easter. That's usually when they do the spring cleaning event. Tends to be a bit smaller of a sale, not as good deals. Yeah, this is rough. I can get up here. I don't know. He does say that it saves. We'll see. Curious. There's nothing to. No way to change anything there. The creator mentioned a few times that the game saves itself. I assume with how long I've been sitting here, it's probably saved itself by some point. So, what we'll do is we will turn up the volume on the music a little bit. I don't know if there is any. I can't hear anything. There's like no desktop audio. It's just completely quiet in OBS, other than the sounds of the hammer. So, I was hoping I could get some nice BGM. Oop. Ah, and of course, there's the music. Triggered it with that. Going down the road, feeling bad. Different performer this time. Quite loud. So yeah, you can see the audio mixing in this game. Most certainly in the public domain, though. So. Alright, but with that, again, going down the road feeling bad. Believe I'm going to switch over to the standby screen. Like I said, just going to take a few minutes here, kind of go over the big releases for the year. That was originally my plan for the day. I was just going to release a quick little video talking about that, but figured I'd put some gameplay out too, just because turn down the BGM on the screen. So it says standby, but just doing that while I pull up the list. And again, I can't show it. This is just Game Informer's 2021 list. So, and they just have a couple months here with the major releases. Obviously, there are more than these, but the biggest ones in January coming up is a re-release, remaster of the famous Scott Pilgrim vs. the World game, coming out on the 14th for every major system. Very fun game, comic book style, sort of like the movie was. Hitman 3 is coming out on the 20th. You know, the I guess sort of soft reboot of the Hitman series. Let's see what else. Yakuza Remastered, obviously talking about Sega, that is coming out, so I believe that's some of the older Yakuza games that haven't gotten the Kiwami treatment being remastered, coming out on the 28th. In February, Control is getting a port to the next gen. Outriders is Square Enix's looter shooter, coming to everything. Neo 2 is coming out on PC and PS5, and Neo 1 Remastered coming out on PS5 as well. Little Nightmares 2, sequel to the sort of side-scrolling horror game, on February 11th. Persona 5 Strikers, could be fun. Persona series, very good. Coming out on PC. Altus will, at some point, crawl out of their shell and release more of their games on PC. It'll happen. But that one is happening on February 23rd. Remake of Ghosts and Goblins, very old game, coming out on the Switch on February 25th. And a sequel, an actual numbered sequel to Bravely Default, also coming out on the Switch on February 26th. Those could be good. March, apparently Harvest Moon is still a franchise. I assumed it had died when Stardew Valley came out, but no, they're getting a Harvest Moon game on the Switch in March. Remake of Prince of Persia, the first one, on everything, March 18th. Yakuza 6 on March 25th. And Monster Hunter Rise coming to the Switch on March 26th as well. And April, not a whole lot. Obviously, 2020 had a lot of games pushed back, so I assume devs aren't super willing to give release dates beyond sort of the next couple months. So the only things in April is the remake of Nier Replicant, coming to everything, famous JRPG, and the Arcane Studios Deathloop. They've been promoting this game for a couple years. I personally think it looks aggressively mediocre, but it's apparently coming out in May. And tons of things that don't have release dates. Again, not worth going through this whole list. There's a ton of stuff coming out this year, though. Again, super early, so not too many things have concrete release dates. But some things that I'm curious about: Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, not Vampire Hunter. I'm thinking of the old anime. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 is coming out at some point. Warhammer 40k Darktide, made by the Vermintide people, just that set in the 40k universe. I'm excited for that. Temtem, the Pokemon clone, is getting a final release at some point. A Switch port of Subnautica, if you like survival games. It's a pretty good one. Ocean-based, neat setting. Don't play if you have what is it? Hydrophobia, I assume would be the term. Fear of water, fear of the deep. Obviously terrifying if you do, but if you don't, pretty cool. New Rune Factory game at some point. Psychonauts 2 might sometime come out. Seems bold to put it on this list. The complete remaster of Mass Effect is due out this year on every major platform. So that is the first 3 Mass Effect games remastered, packaged together. Should be good. Every major platform except for Switch, of course. Probably can't run on it. What else? Halo Infinite got pushed back to late 2021. It might get pushed back again. New Earth Defense Force. Always churning those out, and always a lot of stupid fun. Hard not to like them. And what else? little cheeky, Game Informer has Cyberpunk on the to-be-announced list, despite having a review up for it. So I guess maybe it'll be finished this year. I suppose that's what they're going for. And yeah, no Sonic game on the list, unfortunately. But still plenty of year to go. Obviously January 1st at the time of recording this, so have to see what happens. But yeah, so didn't make it very far in drop the game capture there, so we won't even go back to it. But yeah, didn't make it too far in getting over it. But we did get over 2020, which was sort of the point of this. So, you know, made it through another year into 2021. Hopefully there'll be some good games this year. Had a couple on that list that stood out. Looking forward to for sure. Hopefully there was some that interested you. You know, if there's anything you want to see on the channel, feel free to leave a comment or you know, send me a tweet or something. We'll see what we can do. Always open to suggestions. Don't have a capture card or anything like that, unfortunately, but if it's on PC, could probably give it a shot. And yeah, thanks for tuning in and watching. And again, Happy New Year to everyone. And you know, hopefully have a good, safe, and happy 2021. And again, thanks for watching and have a good one.